Now, I want to tell you a fascinating story that happened to me during a visit to Washington this autumn. I was on a panel discussion about Iran with several other people. One of them was one of the American hostages, one of those diplomats. Actually, it was the chief diplomat, Bruce Langan. He had been the chief of the U.S. mission in Tehran at the time the hostages were taken. I had never met him, but I knew that he'd become an advocate of reconciliation with Iran, and so I was eager to talk to him. I wanted to chat with him a little. Later, we exchanged some emails, and he told me a fascinating story, which to my knowledge has never appeared in print. He said, I was sitting in my cell in that embassy in Iran. I had been in a solitary cell for about 1 year. And one day, unexpectedly, the door opened, and there is one of the hostage takers, one of my jailers, is standing there. And I looked up at him, and 1 year of rage and anger and fury exploded out of me, and I started screaming at him. I told him, you have no right to do this. This is totally cruel. This violates every law of God and man. You cannot take innocent people hostage and treat them like this. Said I went on for several minutes screaming at him, and he just waited very patiently. And when I finally ran out of breath, he leaned into my cell and pointed a finger at me and in very good English said, you have no right to complain because you took our whole country hostage in 1953. What that story tells me is that the hostage taking, deplorable as it was, did not come out of nowhere. It was not just an act of blind hatred and nihilism. People who participated in that episode have now written about it and said, it was all about 1953. What happened in 1953? We forced the Shah out of the country, but CIA agents working in the basement of the U.S. Embassy arranged a coup and brought him back. Now, it's 25 years later, 1979. The Shah fled again. Same Shah. So, what's going to happen? We're afraid the same thing is going to happen again. CIA agents working in the basement of the U.S. Embassy will organize a coup and bring the Shah back. We had to prevent that. If we had never done that in 1953, there never would have been a hostage takeover.